An upstream oil pad is an industrial chimera. It functions as a heavy civil construction site before morphing into a live chemical processing plant. The sector operates at a historic, sprawling scale. Thousands of localized, high-intensity sites are constantly being established across vast footprints. This data isolates fatal occupational injuries in the oil and gas extraction industries. The dark green bars highlight a fatality rate that remains high, often because of regulatory blind spots that exist between different stages of a project. This video is for educational purposes. Always verify current OSHA requirements and consult with qualified professionals for specific on-site safety protocols. Maintaining safety in this sector requires tracking an environment where physical hazards and legal definitions change simultaneously. In April 2009, an OSHA letter of interpretation established the division that still defines upstream safety. OSHA 1926 construction standards apply strictly to site preparation. Activities like leveling the pad, trenching, and excavation are the limits of this jurisdiction. The moment actual boring or servicing begins, the regulatory jurisdiction flips to the OSHA 1910 General Industry Standards. This hinges on the distinction between maintenance, which keeps equipment in its existing state, and construction, which involves building, improving, or altering a structure. Under this ruling, a single square mile of dirt can legally transition into a different regulatory universe without the crew ever moving their equipment. The early well life cycle is dominated by heavy civil infrastructure. Teams are busy with well pad builds, grading, and cutting access roads. During this phase, OSHA 1926 standards for construction are the primary rulebook. This includes the strict shoring and sloping requirements of Subpart P for any trenching or excavation work. These early activities involve complex multi-employer relationships. A controlling contractor often assumes liability for the safety practices of various sub-trades performing the dirt work. This construction framework is temporary. The new foundation will soon host a different set of hazards. Rigging up is the most dangerous regulatory transition. Assembling the mast triggers 1910 General Industry Standards, despite requiring the massive mechanical forces of a construction site. A dangerous technical gap exists. OSHA 1926 specifies wire rope clip spacing, while 1910 rules are far less detailed. Using the wrong rigging standard creates a critical vulnerability. A miscalculated load or improper wire rope specification leads directly to catastrophic mechanical failure. As the hole is bored, the well moves into Phase 4, live production and drilling. OSHA 1910 requirements dominate the site, including hazard communication for drilling muds, H2S exposure controls, and lockout-tagout for rotating machinery. The fall protection threshold drops the moment drilling begins. On a construction site, protection is required at 6 feet. For general industry, that requirement starts at just 4 feet. Confined space entry also shifts. The site moves from the multi-employer coordination of construction Subpart AA to the strict permitting processes of 1910.146. The physical hazard has not changed, but the legal requirement to protect against it is now much stricter. Managing these shifts requires safety professionals who hold both OSHA 510 and OSHA 511 certifications. Anticipating the regulatory transition protects the controlling employer from citations that arise when work is misclassified. A practical approach involves site-specific protocols and digital job safety analyses that flag exactly when a task moves from one jurisdiction to another. This requires role-based training matrices for contractors moving between infrastructure dirt work and live processing. Upstream compliance depends on carefully choreographing your safety measures to perfectly match the exact moment the regulatory rules change on the ground. Navigating the shift between these two standards allows safety directors to maintain the continuous protection required in the modern energy landscape. Upstream oil and gas operations don't follow a single rulebook. They demand mastery of both construction and general industry standards. Professionals who hold both OSHA 510 and 511 are the ones who truly protect their crews and their companies in this high-stakes environment. If you want to learn more about oil and gas safety, OSHA certifications, and upstream operations, subscribe to the HSE Study YouTube channel.